안녕하세요, 여러분. 책 읽어주는 누나예요. 이 강아지는 이번 제 유튜브에 처음 출연하는 친구인데요. 이름은 브라우니예요. 브라우니를 입양하게 된 소식을 짧게 정언하자면요. 브라우니를 처음 본 것은 네이버 인터넷 기사였어요. 최근에 입양 기사들을 굉장히 많이 접했지만 이 브라우니를 보고는 이건 운명이다 생각하고 집으로 데려오게 되었습니다. 네, 그래서요, 저는 브라우니에 대한 짧은 묘기를 몇 번 보여드리도록 하겠습니다. 브라우니, 앉아. 손. 잘했어. 브라우니, 안녕. 이제 브라우니 가야지. 오빠가 데려올 거야. 네네. 브라우니의 짧은 등장이었습니다. 네, 그래서 지금이 가을이잖아요. 가을과 오늘 잠깐 소개한 브라우니와도 맞게 저는 헨리 앤 머지라는 영어책을 준비했습니다. 이 헨리 앤 머지 시리즈는 제가 개인적으로 정말 좋아했던 책인데요. 이 책은 소년 헨리와 그리고 개인 머지의 이야기를 담은 책인데요. 정말 개와 소년의 우정이 정말 잘 어우러졌고 정말 재밌는 책입니다. 그러면 책을 한번 읽어볼까요? Henry and Mudge Under the Yellow Moon. Contents: Together in the fall. Under the yellow moon. Thanksgiving gift. Together in the fall. In the fall, Henry and his big dog Mudge took long walks in the woods. Henry loved looking at the tops of the trees. He liked the leaves, orange, yellow, brown, and red. Mudge loved sniffing at the ground, and he liked the leaves too. He always ate a few. 저희 브라우니도 낙엽 막 먹으려고 그러는데. In the fall, Henry liked counting the birds flying south. Mudge liked watching for busy chipmunks. Since one was a boy and the other was a dog, they never did things just the same way. Harry picked apples and Mudge licked apples. Henry and Mudge put on a coat and Mudge grew one. And when the fall wind blew, Henry's ears turned red and Mudge's ears turned inside out. But one thing about them was the same. In the fall, Henry and Mudge liked being together most of all. Under the yellow moon. Henry loved Halloween. He loved to make the jack-o'-lanterns. He loved to make the paper bats. And most of all, he liked to dress up. But there was one thing about Halloween Henry did not like: ghost stories. And Henry's mother loved to tell ghost stories. Every Halloween, she put on her witch hat, lit candles, and told ghost stories. And she thought Henry liked them because he told her he liked them. But really, he hated them. They scared him. He was afraid to tell her that. 이러면 원래 얘기를 해야 되는데 이거 이렇게 스토리텔링 하는 거 무섭다고. But this year, Henry had Mudge. Mudge would be with him. Henry would not be afraid of the ghost stories. So Halloween night, Henry's mother put on her hat and lit her candles. She invited Henry and Mudge and some of Henry's friends to listen to ghost stories. It was dark outside. A big yellow moon was in the sky. It was dark inside except for the candles and one jack-o'-lantern. Henry got close to Mudge in the floor. Henry's mother began. First, she told a story. A man who lost his head. His friend shook. Henry shook. Then she told a story about a cat in a graveyard. The candles make shape on the walls. Henry shook harder. Then Henry's mother began telling a story about a pair of shoes that went looking for someone's feet. The shoes, she said, came out only at night and walked up and down the street looking. You could hear them, she said softly. They went click, 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 click. Henry's mother tapped her own shoes on the floor. Click, 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 she whispered. When she stopped tapping, Henry still hears something in the room. Something in the room under the yellow moon. Henry held his breath. Something went click, 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 but faster. Henry's whole body shook. It's like someone walking faster and faster. Click, 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 click. Henry's mother bent down. Mudge? She said. Henry knew his mother was scared too, if she needed Mudge. Mudge? She said again. The clinking got louder. The shoes are coming, thought Henry. He put his head in Mudge's neck. Now the clicking was louder than ever. Mudge, Henry's mother said, stop chattering. Henry put his ear near the Mudge mouth, and Mudge's teeth went click, 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 click. 지금 보면 무슨 스토리인지 얘가 알 턱이 없지만 분위기가 얘가 무서웠는지 얘가 이를 달달달달달달 하고 있는데. It wasn't a pair of shoes. It was Mudge. And he was more scared of the yellow moon and the dark room and the witch stories than anybody else. Poor Mudge, thought Henry. Henry stopped shaking and put his arms around Mudge's big head and held Mudge tight. Then they listened to the next story about a chair that rocked all by itself. But Mudge clicked all the way to the end. 결국엔 끝까지 이를 떨었어. In November, Henry's Aunt Sally always came. She came 1 week before Thanksgiving. She left 1 week after Thanksgiving. That's why Henry didn't like Thanksgiving. Because Henry did not like Aunt Sally. She talks too much, Henry thought. She eats too much, Henry thought. She hogs the TV, Henry thought. 이 hogs the TV 하는 게 뭐냐? 하루 종일 TV 앞에 막 계속 앉아 있는 거. Henry wished Aunt Sally would stay home. Aunt Sally had not yet seen Henry's dog Mudge. I bet she hates dogs, Henry thought. Oh, how we wish that Aunt Sally would stay home. But she didn't. She came 1 week before Thanksgiving, right on time. Aunt Sally came to Henry's house. She was talking and talking and talking. She went right into the kitchen with Henry's father. Henry knew what Aunt Sally would be doing in the kitchen. Henry went backyard to find Mudge. At last, Henry thought that Aunt Sally must be finished talking and eating. So he went inside with Mudge. They walked into the kitchen. Aunt Sally was still eating. Good grief! she yelled. Henry and Mudge stepped out. 여기서 good grief가 뭐냐면요. 미국식 표현으로 맙소사 대략 이런 뜻이에요. I knew she hated dogs, Henry thought. Aunt Sally, look at Mudge. Good grief, she said again. But then she took a cracker off her plate. She threw it to Mudge. Snap went Mudge's mouth, and the cracker was gone. Henry looked at Mudge. Henry looked at Aunt Sally. Great dog, Aunt Sally said. She put a cracker in her own mouth. Want one? She asked Henry. Sure, said Henry. This year, Henry knew he was going to like Thanksgiving. This year, Henry knew that he really had something to be thankful for. 여러분, 이 책은 여기서 끝이에요. 헨리 앤 머지 시리즈 정말 재미있었죠? 제가 이 책을 알게 된 계기는요. 어렸을 1학년 때 도서관에서 찾았었어요. 이거를 보면서 저는 막 침 흘리고 거대한 개들을 그렇게 좋아하는 성격은 아니지만 그래도 언젠가 개를 한번 꼭 키워보고 싶다라는 생각을 했는데 이 책을 여러분들에게 읽어드리면서 다른 강아지를 한 마리 데려와서 소개할 수 있을 줄은 정말 몰랐습니다. 네, 그러면 이 책은 여기서 끝이고요. 다음에 더 재미있는 스토리로 돌아오겠습니다. 안녕! 지금까지 책 읽어주는 누나였습니다. 브라우니